Right, hello everyone. Sorry about that. I've got somebody joining me in just a few moments' time. Anyway, welcome to ExA. We are here for round 8 in X1, and just had to get the game signed up. And I'm just going to invite Doctor with me. Just give me to get him up, and then yeah. Give me a few seconds, guys. It won't be too long. It's only qualifying anyway, so just got to add him and bang. Right, we've got 16 people in tonight, which is not that bad. So yeah, we took the day off obviously because that's how our schedule works, and I'm just waiting for the doctor to start a party. I don't know. I'll make one. Just well, he's normally on Xbox, so just gotta leave that party. Uh, um, this is we've sorted this out way too late. I'm super sorry about this, guys. Super sorry. Right, let's start a party then. Right, deeply sorry about that. Just getting the doctor to join us now. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, by the way. Yeah. Uh, can you see the stream by any chance? Yeah, alright then. Well, yeah, we've left this a bit too late, haven't we, to be honest? Um, hold on. Ah, there, I can see you now. There you go. Oh, there you go, mate. Yeah. Alright, make sure you press triangle. I accidentally did this on Wednesday. Didn't press triangle. I ended up in a Mercedes. Yeah, just make sure you do that in the pit lane. Well then, we can uh, we can start then. Yeah, Guys, I was meant to have Thorpe with me today, but he pulled out literally like half an hour before tonight's race, so we've got Doctor instead, and uh, and who can we see on a lap? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Marco then. He's coming around the front. Well, he's coming down the pit straight. What's it going to be here for the Ferrari? He's going to head up into P7, which is last place out of the people who have set of lap time here this evening so far. A few people, well, majority of the people who are racing tonight are currently in the pit lane. Wildy on an out lap and Leo on an out lap as well. My lemon's left, so someone's going to have to send him an invite back. Do I have him actually? That's the main question. So, yeah, I do. Alright, sent my lemo an invite. So, right then, we're looking at Red Bull of Leo then. Two-time race winner, currently, I think he's championship leader if I'm not wrong. He's heading down into turn one. Nice entry. And then has to ride a lot of the curb just to make sure he gets a bit more of a good entry to the corner and then a good exit. Now heading through turn four and now heading through the twisty, turny bit of the first sector. Very easy to invalidate, especially in that first sector, to pan, and as you can see, he's invalidated. Thank you. Right. Um, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Mr. Milan then as he heads through turns one and two. Very easy corners on these track turns one and two. For me, especially, I'd say it's the most easiest corner. Well, first set of corners on the circuit, and now heading through the first sector, twisty turns all over the place. As I say, easy to invalidate, and you can see Mr. Milan goes wide, and yeah, he invalidates his lap time. A lot of people are going to be invalidating their lap times here this evening. Rowley then, the Division 2 world champion from last season in crossplay. He's heading through turn 4. He's still Division 2 in crossplay this season. But for tonight, he's going to reserve because we would have had 14 for tonight if Wildy and Rowley didn't join. First sector then for Rowley, he must have practiced quite a bit. He's set at 32.6 in the first sector as the Mercedes. Now heading through this hairpin, tight hairpin. Try and get the best exit as much as possible. And now heading through the first slingshot out of two. And riding a lot of the curb, but as you can see there, he's a bit too early on the power and he spins, so that's going to ruin his lap time quite a bit. Well, not just a bit, full on. Wildy then, coming through the middle sector, he's going a little bit slow, he's run out of fuel, so that puts an end to his first run. Who else is on a lap? Can you see anybody on a lap right now? And I think Polar, well, yeah, Polar has just gone up into the second row, which is P3, ahead of his teammate there, ahead of Leo. and you can see the top three are very close within each other. Coro keeps joining and leaving. I think it's to do with the game, to be honest. But we'll just ignore that. Roger then. Nice lap from the. He goes quicker than Haley, also known as Bickle. On I'm, we'll just call him Haley because that's what he was known for before. Uh, he had that name. So we're looking at ICU then, who's gone purple throughout the middle sector and are heading through this last sector. DRS wide open, heading through turn 25, 26, and now turn 27. Now heading around the final corner. All he needs now, he's hit the wall a little bit there on midway through the corner, but now all it is just foot to the floor, DRS open. What is it here for ICU? He goes on to provisional pole. Yeah, it's the first person into the 29s here, this 27, sorry. Don't know why I said 29s. Uh, but 27.9 it is for the Mercedes driver. Who, also, I think he tried to compete with Lethal last season for the championship. And oh wow, that isn't as, yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Who else? Who else? Who else? Milo maybe? Invalidated. Jake is invalidated as well. Koru on an outlap here. So not to look out for at the moment. If you want to take him through. Yeah. Just gonna have a look at chat. Hello Chaz. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Maybe I should load up the chat to be fair on the phone. Leo then going onto the front row as well. I think Marco is on a lap. No, he's on an in lap, so he comes into the pit lane. Koru has invalidated, so really nobody's on a lap at the moment, apart from Haley. No, Haley's not on a lap. No, I'm right. I'm not blind. Leo also on an in lap as well. But now a lot of people coming out for an outlap as Serdar goes a little bit deep into turn 2 for some reason. On the exit of turn 2, questionable. Maybe Mrs. Breaking Point coming out of the pit lane, which is sometimes not expected, especially when you're coming out of the pit lane. It's more or less expected when you're full speed into a corner. So yeah. Who do you think is going to get pole? I think it's going to be Haley, but you know. Mm. And Monday as well, final lap action between Solly. I can't remember who the other one was. It might have been a Red Bull. I'm not too sure, but Solly managed to snatch the win uh, over whoever that person was. If the chat don't, I keep forgetting who it was. So That's not very good, but I'll find out. I'll find out. Don't you worry. Yeah. Mm, yeah. But Serdar now begins his second run, maybe final run, if I can see the timer, because there's yellow flags in sector two, and mm. Oh, it is indeed the final runs people are going to be setting. We have literally 40 seconds to go. That flown by, to be fair. Serdar is now 2 tenths up on his first sector time. He's now heading through the middle sector. The next hard part about this circuit is the slingshot corners. It's not a fancy corner, or else if you ride a bit too much curb and exceed the track limits, then obviously you're going to get an invalidation. It's not to the end of the curb anymore, which was the fact on F1 2021. Uh, but now it's not the case anymore. It's to the white line because they changed the colour of the curbs, and they made the curbs a bit higher. So it makes a bit more sense, and it is more realistic in general. Yeah, I don't think he has anything to fight for anyway. But Serdar comes round the final corner. He's going to get DRS wide open, foot to the floor. He's going to get himself a P3 ahead of ICU. ICU. Better than starting at the back. But Wildy, who has not also set a time and is currently behind Rowley, is going to come round the last corner. The AlphaTauri, all he needs now is apply the traction, foot to the floor, DRS now open. If I was him, just get the time done, and it's going to be a 28.9. Still behind Rowley, but that's qualifying basically done. Yes, that's qualifying done then, because the rest have invalidated their laps, which were Fraser, Marco, and ICU. So, next part, no sprint, but it is the race. 25 laps, where strategy all matters. But let's go through our good rundown then. So P1 is Haley getting pole by 6 tenths over Leo in P2. He'll start in the front row. Serdar P3, ICU P4, Rutger P5, P6 Polar, P7 Quattrez, P8 Jake, P9 Fraser, P10 Marco, P11 Giovanno, P12 Milemo, 14 Wildy, P15 Koru, P16 last but not least, Mr. Milan in the Haas, and Koru and Mr. Milan without lap time. So, what were your thoughts on that qualifying session then? I mean, I can't disagree with you on that one, but anyway, we are heading into our 25 lap race. This is it. This is the last race of the season for Saudi Arabia. And then we'll move on to the Brazilian Grand Prix on Monday, which is X4, 7 o'clock UK time as usual. I don't know who's commentating that one. We'll sort that over the weekend. But now we've got to focus on this one, this race, the Top Boy division, the fastest of the fastest from all consoles. So yeah, we're waiting for people now to set up their strategies and fuels, and then yeah, and then we'll move to our race, obviously, and then well, first is the five red lights, and then the race. But yeah, pit crew always do my head in once I look at the garages. Something I don't like when they T-pose. It's like they're in Fortnite. But anyway, we're moving to 5 red lights here in Saudi Arabia. It is lights out, and away we go. Pedal to the metal here in Saudi Arabia, X1. And that is Haley with a fantastic start. Same with Serdar there. He's trying to go side by side here with Leo into turn two. I think the McLaren has just got the move done, but Leo's trying to stick with that McLaren. The McLaren, sorry, has got that move done. ICU with not not a terrible start, but not a great start either. But Fraser also getting a good start. He's now up into P7, and that's it. No DNFs. But although clean start, let's just put it that way. Yeah. Oh yeah. One for like fast people, it's always the best options to start on the hards. But here's my lemonade trying to go side by side into the slingshot. I cannot see what's going on between the Haas and the McLaren. Oh, they get very squabbly. Oh, oh, yeah. Just weren't going to happen, unfortunately. But Giovanno is going to get a chance down into turn one. But first is the straight. Has he got enough slipstream to send it? No, he's not using any of his battery, which is fair enough. We're only on the second lap here of this race, so there's. Uh, Mr. Milan has put on a fresh set of mediums. I don't know why. Mm. And obviously he has to repair his front wing damage, so he's now going to come out of the pit lane way behind the others, and that's P16. Would have been nice if we would have got a full grid here tonight, but it is what it is, unfortunately. It's still good enough for me. Yeah, but only 4 people will not get points here tonight unless someone in the top 12 DNFs with the 4 others down below. But fingers crossed that does not happen. I like to see everyone in the points paying positions get points. So it makes a bit of a difference in the championship, but Haley making some ground. He's already 2.5 seconds ahead of Serdar. Yeah, he must be like Red Bull, mustn't he? I don't want to say hacks. There's the 2 championship rivals. Yeah. Mr. Milan boxing once again for another set of mediums. I think he actually changed his front wing this time. It didn't. I didn't see whether he had front wing damage the first time we boxed, so now he's got to do a 3 stop, which is unfortunate. Leo just holding on into that DRS, using that battery, just getting ready for the straight that's upcoming. You can see he got DRS on that back straight, but now he's gained a lot of time here on Serdar. It's not enough though, because there's still a big gap between them two. Leo's not going to use his ERS, which is fortunate enough for him, but unfortunate for us because we want to see battles. That's the first thing commentators want to see. But Wildy and Rowley going at it once again. They're championship rivals in the division below, which is Tier 2, Division 2 or X2. Uh, Obviously, it's called X2 in ExA, if some of you don't know, if you're new around here. But yeah. Mhm. Uh, Rowley has retired, and that is on the track. We'll see what happened to him. Oh, it's a full course safety car, which was predicted, of course. Hopefully, that's the first and only. But the damage is sometimes unrealistic on this game, so you could hit a wall like 5 kph and your tyre just comes flying off. So, but thank God the new game's round the corner now. Well, I'm not going to pre-order it because I don't know what the game's going to be like at the end of the day. So, Leo then is here to box pretty early for Red Bull. He's onto a fresh set of mediums. Quite questionable about what Red Bull are doing here. Uh, Obviously, it's a free pit stop at the end of the day, but it's way too early, unfortunately, for the mediums. Wildy's also into the pit lane for hards, lagging out of the pit box, which is another thing I also hate about this game. When people lag out of the pit box, it takes like 10 years for it to happen. Jake has also come into the pit lane, that is definitely for hards, so he's not going to go on to softs or something, but it'd be quite stupid if he did that. What is he going on to? Yeah, it's hard. Would have thought so about that one. And but the question is it too early to make a pit stop here in this one? Well, it's not the first time he's got damage this evening, so I mean the safety car has definitely saved him. We can tell. But not much is now going to happen throughout this safety car period, obviously, because everybody's tightened up, bunched up, and we'll be get we'll be getting ready for the race. But it's quite hard to tell with Haley now. Obviously, he's going to be slower come the second stint, and the guys behind they're going to be faster in the second stint because there is a big difference between mediums and hards. Hards they take so long to warm up, and the mediums they take like half a lap to do so. So, but it does depend how you warm the hards up. If you just weave a little bit on a straight, you could warm up a bit faster, but that's going to also cost Haley a bit of time as well. So, is this really the right strategy from P1? Yeah, interesting call from the Alfa Romeo. Obviously, I want Alfa Romeo to win because it's my team. So I've been I've been in Alfa Romeo since the start of the league. So yeah. Well, one Ferrari is currently P10, and the other one hasn't turned up here tonight. So Well, yeah. Well, the safety car, as the doctor said, it is in this lap, and Haley will want to get off as soon as possible, so Serdar doesn't get onto the back of it. We're well done, Serdar's on board, and Serdar, whoa, wow, that's interesting. Uh, Giovanni making up places, if I can scroll up to him in time. Rowley also saying he did the perfect Mick Schumacher. I mean, I hope you're not injured, but it was quite serious. So, but ICU just trying to stick in that DRS, and it's just not working. And you can see the pace difference between Haley and P2. Well, the rest of the grid. Well, there are two Red Bulls versus one Ferrari. Where have we seen that before? I wonder. Oh, that's a dirty switchback. That's filthy. What a switchback that was from the Ferrari, who now gets ahead of Polar. What a move from the Ferrari. Is that is overtake of the week for sure. But yeah, always gone wide. That had me scared for a moment. But he carries on as normal. But Leo, next target for him is Giovanno, a fellow PlayStation driver from console Division 1 in Season 2. Oh, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. But yeah, these two have met before in the past. But as we keep our eye on Giovanno and Leo, you can see Giovanno is struggling a little bit. Oh, there's a lot of contact there between the two. Yeah, that's Giovanno's fault because he literally just squeezed the Red Bull into the wall, and yeah, that's caused what it's caused. Um, but he's also boxing for fresh set of hards. I think there is a bit of a glitch with the game when coming into the pit lane, especially around this track. It happened on last year's game as well. So if people stop again, they'll have to do a stop go penalty. But now Haley, P5 ahead of Leo, uh, Marco even ahead of Leo. Well, Leo's also boxed as well. Well, this could help ICU a little bit if the guys behind holds Haley up a little bit, but you know what the task is for Haley. Overtake them, and it's still too early for these hard runners. Yeah, and my favourite race is coming next week. So yeah, Brazil. Yeah, I mean my home Grand Prix actually isn't my favourite, so it's quite boring to be fair. Which is Silverstone, but it's it's pretty boring at times when you race around there. But Brazil, it has very good racing, and deeply I do like it. So Saudi Arabia, it also has good racing in real life, but not so much in the game because it's just yeah. One little mistake, it causes three DNFs, just like tonight. So, but Saudi Arabia is a very hard track to get around, even if it's one lap pace. It's it's something I don't fancy every day, but I could have 12 Brazils in one season. I'd love that. I think anyone would love that, to be fair. 12 Brazils in one season. Yeah. But after this season, guys, there'll be like, I think, like a 2 week break. I think we're doing a five lapper tournament or something like that. No rules. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, we're having a bit of a break from the actual racing itself, and we will move on to F123 afterwards anyway. So it's I hope Qatar and Las Vegas are in the race next next season, well in the Canada, sorry, next season, because that'd be just fantastic, especially Qatar. I'd love it. But you gotta add some spice to the calendar. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've gotta. I'd say Bahrain first round. I think we can do 16 rounds again. So we could do Bahrain first round. I don't know. Maybe Miami second round, something like that. Yeah. With like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Las Vegas and stuff like that. That'd be quite cool. I've I've done 20 race calendars before in other leagues. That's me being brutally honest. Uh, it was quite stressful because attendances weren't weren't the best because obviously the game. But next season, especially this league, attendances are skyrocketing in such a bad game. To be fair, I hope we get full grids every race next season because that'd be fantastic. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Well, if we are going to have full grids every race next season, we should start doing full qualifyings. But at the end of the day, it's a bit too long. But we could do full qualifying 35%, you know. So, yeah. Ooh, the AlphaTauri getting very close to Mr. Milan there to go side by side. Oh, that's probably ruined his race by a mile because he's had to change his front wing, and that could have caused a loss of a race win. Right, if I have a look at the championship standings, if I can get to them quick enough. Where are the standings? Hello, where are the standings? Ah, there they are. Well, they haven't been updated. Yeah. But the Williams is trying to fight back. Well, yeah, very nice to see indeed. But oh, there's a Aston Martin going a little bit deep there, which is Rutger. I've just realised. Was that me voice cracking, or did my voice just stop? I haven't had a voice crack commentary for ages. I have not had one in so long. Uh, I used to have voice cracks like mad when I used to commentate. But anyway, here's Serdar going on the inside of the Aston Martin of Rutger. They're going very close. And, oh no, no! And I can tell you something that is in the stewards' room for tonight. From both drivers. I can't call whose fault that was. It might have been a racing incident, but I can tell you something. It might be someone's fault, but you know, anything can happen with these stewards these days. So I'm not calling them stupid. No, you know, you've got to respect them because you know they might give you a race win one day. So or even a podium or even points if you're rare to getting points. So. But here's Leo and Fraser then. Fraser was also a driver in last season's console, Division 1, but now they're going to battle it out here in X1. And Leo just has that more slipstream to work with. And you can see Fraser's not letting him by. And you can see why, because he really wants those extra points. Leo cannot do much about it. Leo, he goes to the inside. He's going to work with it on the inside, Richard has left. Fraser, he's getting into the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of ICU. I don't know where that came from because he was battling Leo literally like 2 seconds ago. But Leo gets through here on the Mercedes. Those mediums. And Haley now getting ahead of Serdar because Serdar has just headed into the pit lane. Haley not having a good Grand Prix, especially when getting pole position. It will hurt for the Alfa Romeo, unfortunately. But your championship leader is still Leo as it stands. But Leo is going to be very happy that Giovanni is at this Grand Prix because Leo is championship rivals with Giovanni, obviously. So Leo is now going to fight for P1 as he's trying to find a way round the outside or inside or outside. He's trying to choose what position to overtake. It's very dangerous to overtake through there anyway, but we could have a 3-car scrap for position 1. But here comes Leo and Fraser. They're going side by side. Leo will have that extra pace. nice cut off, very very aggressive from Leo. But you like to see it. It's part of racing, unfortunately. Oh no, ICU has boxed. Sorry to interrupt, but ICU has just boxed for a fresh set of mediums. The time had to come. Unfortunately, for the Mercedes, I thought it spun for a second, but now Leo is going to fly by against Fraser. Fraser just has nothing to work with to Leo, but you can see the ERS difference. 18, 17% for Leo. Fraser has 40%. So there is a big difference here between the Williams and the Red Bull, who are currently P1 and P2, both with penalties. Quatres within 3 seconds, so he can at least get a P2 here this evening. Not sure about P1, but he's got to work his socks off for P1 if he wants. But you can see Leo is gaining and gaining away here from Fraser. Fraser just trying to stick within that DRS here of the Red Bull. It's seeming impossible for the Williams at the moment because, you know, when you come against the championship leader, it gets harder and harder, step by step. Obviously, he uses no assist, so, you know, he's going to be at that trademark speed. But Mr. Milan, he's on a charge here. Uh, he, he's basically came from the bottom of the grid to P5. Man, that's what track limits can do to you, unfortunately, especially around Saudi Arabia. They're very hard to get by. But you can see Leo and Fraser, they're both pushing their cars to the absolute maximum here, and they are working very hard to see second gap of Quatres. And Fraser has eliminated him from that 3 seconds, so he can grab himself a position two tonight. Fraser, obviously, I think Roger needs an invite. Do I have Roger? Actually, probably do. To be fair, that's probably what chat are telling me. Invite Roger, but I can't really read it to be honest. Fraser and Leo, then they're just fighting. They're having a little bit of a ding dong battle to keep within that 1 second mark. Obviously, Leo trying to get out of that 1 second mark in case Fraser does indeed catch up at some point during the Grand Prix. Those mediums are going to wear out anytime soon. I think those hards they're probably starting now to degrade a little bit now because you know the tyres around Saudi Arabia they're not kind at all. Compared to last year's game, obviously you can do a one stop from soft to medium on last year's game around Saudi Arabia, which was very kind of the game actually, something you don't see every day. Yeah, it's trying to keep it as safe as possible. Well, it's still being the points at least. every point matters in the championship, no matter what. You know, it could obviously if you DNF, you DNF. You know, it's yeah. But Leo and Fraser, they're still going at it for DRS. But Leo is now indeed, oh, it's very tight for DRS, but I think Leo has just done it to keep Fraser out of that DRS, and he has. But Fraser trying to fight back to get in that DRS. It's very tight between these two to stick within that DRS, but it's just not working at all. I think Mr. Milan has spun again. It was Mr. Milan who's lost his front wing once again. Um, well, it'll still be in the points. Obviously, Rutger's going to be very slow, so unless he can get, I've sent Rutger an invite. I don't think he's joining back. So yeah, it's quite a shame if you just leave, you know, give up. It's not how racing works. I mean, if you want to retire, just do it in the pit lane. Simple. Or Leo, he could get DRS here because there is a lapped car incoming and Koru has been given a penalty. Jake onto a set of softs, so he's probably hoping for something to happen. Mr. Milan then also retiring, which is fair enough. You know, yeah. I mean, you know, he gave it his all today. Yeah. Yeah. But Fraser now still within that DRS. How are these two keeping within each other? Well, this is fairly interesting now because people might still have to make a pit stop here again, unless Fraser and Leo they go to the end. You know, he pitted for those about a lap ago, so he's going to head on to the 20th lap. So we've got 6 laps to go here around Saudi Arabia. We've got 6 laps to go around Saudi Arabia in total. Uh, and that will be 100 laps of Saudi Arabia. Uh, you know, everybody would have had to do. Well, not everybody, but you know, us as commentators mainly. Well, it depends on the penalty situation because I think there will be a lot of reports in case of that speeding in pit lane issue that we had earlier on. But Haley now trying to gain, and he's gaining very much. And yeah, he's got the move done. Very nice, very easy, very nice. And P7. Well, yeah, because there is a bit of a DRS train from P5 to P8, but Koru now losing it all. There is a ghost of Rutger still, so there are blue flags waving around in Sector 1. And top 5 is now officially possible. I thought someone just spun there, but that's just me. Fraser then just 7-8 tenths behind Leo. I don't think anything is going to happen between these two. They've been staying in the DRS ever since like lap six, probably about lap 15. But now we're on lap 21 with 5 laps to go here around Saudi Arabia. 5 laps to go of round 8 across all divisions this season. And yeah, just, enjoy the moment around Saudi Arabia. And Leo now out of that DRS of Fraser. So Fraser will not have any more DRS to play with. That's it. That might be it for Fraser on his push to his first win of the season. He is currently flashing. He's pushed everything in that Williams here tonight. But Leo is just too quick for him. There is a bit of a difference between no assists and some assists. I don't know whether Fraser used any assists. I know Leo doesn't really use any assists. So but you can see Haley. Oh, wow. It's very close between 4th, 5th, and 6th, 7th out of the equation. Now, Marco just has nothing in the tank left, but you can see Haley with all that DRS is trying to go around the outside here, the Mercedes. Maybe top, well, probably not top 4 possibility, but you can see Haley gaining here on Wildy. Yeah, Wildy has nothing to fight for, obviously, since he is. Yeah, Wildy obviously in the championship battle in X2 against Rowley, who was the championship winner last season in X2 last season. So there was only 2 divisions last season in crossplay in ExA, and then obviously we had 2 console divisions as well. But yeah, that turned into 4 crossplay divisions afterwards, and that brought more interest. And you know, it's it's come out massive. So what? Look at Haley already. Wow, that's just incredible. I see you and Wildy. Yeah, that's too easy. That's too easy for ICU. He now heads up into P5. Sorry, Wildy now P6. But the main question is, can Haley manage to snatch top 4? Maybe even a podium position here, because he's right behind the Williams, who's just had a little bit of a tank slapper there. Lap 24 out of 25, we are going to see the last remaining laps fighting for a podium. Wildy thinking about it on the inside of ICU, just a bit too far back, unfortunately. I think P1 and P2 have been sorted, unless one of these two crash, obviously. Oh, wow. That's, yeah, not smart from either driver, to be honest. And Haley now just going to give it his all from now to the checkered flag. And he's going to try and go around the outside here of the Williams. Oh, he can't do it. Yeah, good defending. There's debris, and that's Fraser. Fraser's bottled it. He's bottled it. He's got a puncture. He's got a. Fraser has a puncture. I've never seen anything like it in league racing. Mm. Oh, it's all kicking off. Well, it's so unlucky for Fraser here. He's got a puncture. I've never ever seen that while I've been commentating. In all my time of commentating, I've actually never seen anyone get a puncture. Yeah, especially this season in the ExA, we've not witnessed anyone getting a puncture this season, and he's the first man to get a puncture out of anybody across all divisions. Tell me if I'm wrong, chap, but I'm probably not wrong. But now all eyes lay on Leo. He is a two-time winner here this season in EXA. ICU also picking up a 3-second time penalty. And but now Leo is going to come round the final corner here in Saudi Arabia. All he needs to do now is just cross the line. He slows down a little bit. No, I'm wrong. But he's going to come across the line for the final time here in Saudi Arabia. He picks up his third win of the season. He can smell that World Championship title coming his way now. And Haley with an incredible drive from back of the grid to P2. Wildy picks up a podium. Koru P4. Polar P4, sorry. Marco P5. Koru now P6. Quatres P7. ICU P8. Fraser still yet to cross the line. Serdar still yet to cross the line. Jake and yeah, Rutger as well, who's been lapped by the whole grid. Well, it's the final race. I'll be commentating around Saudi Arabia on F122 now. So goodbye to this track. See you on the next game. But now that's it. Everybody has officially crossed the line for this Grand Prix, apart from 4 drivers. Well, we have to decide it ourselves. We don't. The game is just stupid. We'll decide it ourselves. So who's your driver of the day? Well, I can't disagree with you on that one. So the official driver of the day here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in X1 is indeed Haley, and yeah, Alfa Romeo with a fantastic week this week from Monday to Friday. Unfortunately, I couldn't race on Tuesday because I was down in Wales. So yeah, I probably weren't going to win anyway. I was probably going to DNF within the first corner. So, but yeah, here is our grid rundown then for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So Leo is your winner. He can smell that World Championship incoming. He can win it by round 10, I could say, at Zandvoort. I think that is the most he can win the World Championship now. But P2 is Haley, P3 is Wildy, P4 Polar, P5 Marco, P6 Koru, P7 Quattros, P8 ICU, P9 Fraser, P10 Serdar, P11 Jake, P12 Rutger. That's it for the points paying positions. P13, 14, 15, 16 Mr. Milan, Giovanni, Milano, and Rowley, the league owner and champion from last season. They didn't come across the line. They unfortunately had to quit early. Mr. Milan, though, 5 pit stops throughout the whole Grand Prix. But that is it then, guys, from us at ExA around Saudi Arabia this week. We'll see you next week at Brazil for X4 on Monday at 7 o'clock UK time as usual. I don't know who's going to be commentating. We'll sort that over the weekend. We'll be your special guest for that one. Uh, so, you know, that's it then. And thanks for Doctor for joining me anyway. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, a bit late, but we worked through it. Uh, you know, obviously our other commentator, which is Thorpe, who commentated with me on Wednesday, he had to pull out quite late. So yeah, that's it from us now at EXA. I'm going to stop the talking, and I'll see you lot next week. Goodbye, everybody.